welcome back to the channel, besties. If you are new, welcome. If you are already a subscriber,
welcome back.
Welcome back. Okay, so today, you guys, we're going to be talking about parenting. Parenting is hard, but this is a nice little one. Okay, there are no rules when it comes down to parenting, but it is a responsibility that must not be taken lightly. Now, first and foremost, as a parent, you weren't meant to do this by yourself. Naturally, we were not created to go the journey alone as a parent. There is supposed to be a dad and a mom. When the mom is burnt out, daddy can step in, or when daddy's burnt out, mommy can step in. So it's really meant to be like a joint effort, this parenting. But like I feel today, it's just so hard. And so I decided to talk about it because we're going back to school, and I've seen so many videos of teachers quitting their jobs. And as a teacher, if I'm going to quit, I want to quit because I found something else that I enjoy. I found something else that's fulfilling, but not because the students at work, along with their parents, are making my life difficult. When I quit, it's going to be because I want to. So as a parent, it is my responsibility to teach my child so many things at home before we send them out. So let's talk about what are some of the things that you guys should be doing at home. First of all, today I find parents are trying to be their children's friend. It's okay to be your child's friend, but you, first and foremost, must be their parent first. Me not been a friend with no picnic. They're gonna be my friends, but that's after I've gone through all the things of parenting. I became friends with my mother, but we talk about everything and anything. So before you send your child out, there are some things that you need to put in place. And I know some of us are busy, and I know we work double jobs, but while you're working these double jobs, you still have to parent. That is something that you cannot neglect, because if you neglect your parenting responsibilities, then the society is going to raise your kids, and a lot of times the things that they're learning or the things that they're going to be taught are not the things that you necessarily want for your children. Those are not the values and the attitudes that will make them productive citizens. And so the first thing you want to teach your child is just to kind of respect. If the child respects you, I feel like when the child goes out of your presence, the child is representing parents. The child is representing you. And so if you're training your child to just respect only you, then that's a problem. Your child respects you. Naturally, I want to think the child goes out and interacts with other people. The respect is going to come easy. Why? Because at home, it's easy for me to respect my mother. It's easy for me to respect my dad. Now, if at home you have the child talking to you as if you're friends or as if you're on the same age level, they're not going to respect anybody else out there. As a teacher, for me, respect goes both ways. I'll never disrespect a child, but in the same way, I expect children to respect me. My kids are older than the kids I teach, and I will not sit there with a child who's going to disrespect me, because I don't have the time. I just don't have the energy. Me just not have the time for that foolishness. Talking back, like, I remember I had a situation where two students were kind of going, back and forth. And so I pulled one of the students from the situation and just put him across the other section of the room. And one of the students' comment was, "You always got something to say." You're right. I have something to say. I'm always going to have something to say. Why? Because I am the adult in the room. As the adult, the only adult in the room, I will always have something to say. So, little girl, if you don't want to hear what I have to say, if I'm pulling you apart and I'm asking you to stop, just close your mouth to resolve the situation. And you're going to tell me, as a grown woman, who could also be your mother, maybe times 4, that I always have something to say. You're right. I'll always have something to say. So here, what? Just go to the office. They'll deal with you in the office. Because the drama, the back and forth with kids, I am not going to do with people's children. I am not going to do that, because that's time wasting. Okay? So we teach our children to respect not just you, but other people as well. Parenting involves disciplining. If you love your child, you are going to discipline your child. Now, love is not always the hugs, the kisses, the smooches, the nice clothes. Part of parenting involves tough conversations. And I feel like a lot of parents are afraid to have these tough conversations with kids because they are afraid the kid will get upset. Well, better you bex than me. Better you bex than me. Because I am going to have that conversation. As a matter of fact, the conversations that you have with your child when they are young are going to make them better citizens, are going to prevent a lot of drama when they get older. What some of us don't realize is that when the kids are with us, they won't always be kids forever. They have to go out and mix and mingle in school. They have to go out in the workplace. And if you are not instilling good values and attitudes in your children, their attitude will determine their altitude. How far your child will go is really most times dependent on their attitude. People will put up with so much and no more. So we want to teach our kids just to be respectful and have a positive attitude at all times and try to follow the lead of the adult. I won't always be in your presence, and I would want to think that when my kids go out there, they are representing me. And I tell my own children, school not supposed to call me. School don't even supposed to call me if you are do good. Why? Because I can go in focus. I can go on the portal and I can see what you're doing. I check up on the kids. As parents, your job is to send your kids to school. Your kids have a right to that education. But with that right also comes a responsibility. Now, when the kid comes, if we're going to be going back and forth and it's a tug of war, you are here for 40 minutes or 44 minutes, however long that period is, you are here to do math for this period of time. And instead of us doing math, we are doing drama. Like we're arguing back and forth. Or I have to tell you, take out the pencil. I have to tell you, get a book out. This is why you're here. So if parents are not, doing their part, if kids don't think that we have like this triangle going on where the kid knows if I reach out to you, there are some children who you will be like, okay, I'll be calling home. And they'll be like, well, go ahead and call home. Like nothing's going to happen. Why? Because they're putting them around the yard. The kids are in control. Parents, we are supposed to be the parent. I love my children, but when they fall out of line, and my husband and I, we go like this together. So whatever my husband says, I agree. And whatever I say, my husband agree. So if you are parenting and daddy is pulling one way and mommy is pulling another way because you want to be the favorite, but I've been a Pitney favorite. I'm not vying for the position of favorite. We're raising children to become decent adults so that when they go out in society and start to interact with other people, it's not awkward. It's not awkward for them, and it's not awkward for the people that they have to mix and mingle with. Parenting is hard. And I feel like that's why most people just throw in the towel. They just give up. But it is a responsibility. Giving up is not an option, and it starts from the child is a toddler. Like the child at 6 months, 5 months, 4 months throws a tantrum, starts to cry, because baby knows if I cry, I get whatever I want. The child cries and you give in. That's a problem. And then when the child gets older and you guys are out in public, you try to correct the child in public. You don't wait till you get to the public space to correct the child. You address those behaviors at home. But I know it's hard, and that's why many people give up. But giving up on these children is not an option, because they did not ask to be here. They did not ask to be here. And that's why really we have to wait until you find a supportive partner, wait until you're married, wait until you have something solid that you can actually start, creating lives, because we're talking about children's lives here. For the people who think that, oh, I can do this, single moms. And I know a lot of single women or single mothers who are making it happen, but it's hard. Children need their father. Children need their mother. And when we take that away from them, they rebel. The struggles come in. You find yourself opening doors to all sorts of situations, and then you wonder, why me, Lord? Why me? Yeah, why not you? Because we don't weigh the cost. Picture this. People together, and when they're separating, a lot of times there are no plans made for the children. I'm just unhappy and I'm getting out of this relationship and I'm moving forward. What plans are we making for the kids who are involved? You're taking them out of what they know. You're taking them out of their comfort space. And then they start to rebel. But I know it's hard. There is no manual to follow. You just have to kind of go with your gut. But like just the basic things, teach them to your children. Teach them to your child. And somebody else, another adult, is supposed to be able to correct your child. Nobody wants anybody to talk to their child these days. Oh, don't talk to my child, and don't talk to my child like that, and my child is never wrong. Like, are you serious? That child will bite your ears off so quickly, you'll regret it. So get to know your child. Correct your child at home before you send them out, and support your teachers. Just to kind of wrap this video up, support your teachers. How can you support your teacher when you send out, the kid to school? Check on homework. Check on the messages that teacher is sending. Or if you feel so inclined, email the teacher just to kind of see what's going on. On a number of occasions, I like to not only make the negative phone calls home, I also like to call and say, hey mom, this is teacher calling because Susan has been doing awesome in my class, and I just want to thank you for sending me such an amazing kid. Right? So it's hard, but you owe it to the children to raise them right. You owe it to the children to raise them up in the fear of the Lord. And so I can't tell you how to raise your child, but just know that that child will not always be with you. That child will not always be in your presence. So you want to create a balanced child, a balanced adult for later in life.
Parents, just remember that you need to discipline your kids, and when they go to school, it's not to make friends. They're there to learn so they can have a good education and they can be good citizens when they grow up.
All right, I always tell my kids, especially when they go to school, the children at school do not have us as parents. Your parents are different from the parents that are at school. So when another child tried to act out, and I know a lot of parents try to, it's because of this friend. Really? No, it's not because of this friend. It's because of you, because we've had numerous conversations as parents with our children. So when you go out there and you start to act a fool, then you have us as parents to deal with. And so we don't parent the other kids that are at your school, but you do have us, to think about. So with that said, if you have any tips to give to, parents of today, you can leave them in the comment section below. And with that, what do we say, Zon?
Thank you for watching this video. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Mom.
What?
We gotta do it correct this time.
Remember to like, comment, share,
subscribe.